Good afternoon, viewers. Welcome from Sunetra Family Eye Care Center, Kolkata. Today is the 47th episode of our patient education series every Wednesday or Thursday sometimes. For quite some time now, we have been discussing and talking about COVID because that is the hot topic nowadays. We have had various speakers from outside. Many of them are my good friends who are specialists and experts in their field, who have shared their thoughts and knowledge with us about COVID infection, the sequelae, the after effects, mental health, etc., etc. Today, I shall attempt to share with you some very useful information on recovery and rehabilitation after COVID-19 infection. Much of what I'm going to share with you has been adapted from the patient education pamphlet of Johns Hopkins University, USA, with a little bit of our own modifications from various other research inputs. The topic for today is recovering or rising back after COVID-19 infection, the beginning phase. Why the beginning phase? I shall explain. Please allow me to share my screen with a few slides that I have made to explain the points to you. Give me a couple of seconds and I shall be with you with the shared screen. Well, I hope my screen is visible. Oh, it's not. It's gone. Where did it go? Wait. Okay. Yeah. We are back with the shared screen. So this is the topic. You see, COVID-19 affects both the body and the mind. Our rehabilitation efforts aim to restore the whole person, helping a person return to the previous quality of life or maybe one even better. The common impairments of COVID-19 include weakness, fatigue, shortness of breath with activity, difficulty with walking, and performing various daily tasks. These physical impairments lead to mental stress. Stress leads on to fear. Fear leads on to a state of depression. So the solution is to start moving rather than lie down on the bed and talk about being ill or lament over the feeling that I am ill, I have had COVID, I can't do this, I can't do that. We got to start moving. The earlier we start moving, the better it is for the body and the mind. You see, movement heals the body and is a way to restore the mind and soothe our emotions. And by engaging in movements that the human body is already used to, we can begin the process of recovery and healing with exercises and movements. When we talk about human movements, we can talk about it in 5 layers. The 5 layers that repair and optimize the whole person's health in body and in mind. We shall come across or talk about these layers in detail in the subsequent slides. The objectives or the main aim of all this exercise is to achieve that our movement patterns which develop during childhood and throughout our lifetime. The movement pattern depends on the whole body systems to work well and together in unison. Exercises that strengthen the entire person will help the body to repair and recover. The exercises address four main body systems. One is the lungs and the heart, the cardiopulmonary. The other is the neurovestibular system, nerves as well as the vestibular system. Now, what the vestibular system is all about, I'll explain that in a subsequent slide. The musculoskeletal system, that is the bones and the joints and the muscles, and the mental and cognitive system, that is the power to think, decide, feel, emote, etc. So how do we go about the rehabilitation following COVID-19 infection? We can look at the process in three phases. Phase 1 is the beginning phase, when the illness is still probably just about getting over, we are still bedridden, lot of compromise on physical strength, fatigue. The second is the building phase, where we have started regaining some strength, we can move around slightly. And the last phase being getting back to the earlier quality of life, or maybe one even better, the being phase. Today, we are going to talk about the beginning phase and the rehabilitation process and the exercise process that are relevant during this beginning phase. You see there's a number 13 on the slide, which denotes that the entire exercise schedule of the beginning phase will just take 13 minutes of your time on a day. Part 1, that's the layer 1. We talked about 5 layers. We'll talk about deep breathing. Now, deep breathing should be practiced first in the supine position. You lie on your back, bend your knees so that the sole of your feet are touching on the bed surface. Place your hands over the belly. Don't interlock the fingers, leave them loose. Close your lips or mouth. Place the tongue on the upper part of the mouth, we call it palate. Breathe in through the nose and practice belly breathing. Trust me, you will be surprised that most of us, maybe including myself too, practice the wrong type of breathing. We hardly ever use our diaphragm, which we should. So when we breathe in, our belly should expand. So we should use the belly to breathe in. And that is the purpose of putting the hands over your belly. So you should feel the fingers separating from each other. That is when you're using your belly. So belly should expand, become round, bloated up, and then exhale through the nose slowly. You can inhale fast, but exhale slowly. Repeat this process over and over again up for a total of 1 minute. That's all, just 1 minute. Having done that, next you practice deep breathing in the prone position, that is lying down on your belly. You rest your head over your hands. Again, close your lips or mouth. Place the tongue on the palate and breathe in through the nose using the belly or the diaphragm muscle. And then exhale through the nose slowly. Repeat this over and over again up to a total of 1 minute. That's until now 2 minutes of your time. Third is something that has been there in yoga practice in our country for ages, part of pranayama. I think, what is it called? Brahm, Brahmi or something like that. I'm not getting the name right now. Anyway, you sit upright, place your hands around the sides of the belly, close your mouth, place your tongue on the palate, breathe in through the nose using your diaphragm and the belly, and exhale through the nose slowly and make the sound Om. So make the exhalation or the exhaling as long as you can, and do this over and over again for a total of 1 minute. 3 minutes of your time so far. The second layer of the rehabilitation or exercise program is to turn on your vestibular system. You see, the vestibular system controls our balance. It is placed in the inner ear. Our ear has 3 parts, outer, middle, and inner. It's placed in the inner ear, and it controls our balance and our spatial orientation, or our 3-dimensional feel of our body. The first thing that you do is nodding of the eyes or eye movements. You sit upright, keep your head still, move your eye gaze up and down for about 30 seconds. And then for the next 30 seconds, move your eye gaze from left to right direction. So a total of 30 plus 30, 60 seconds, 1 minute. Next, you practice bed rolling. You lie on the back in a supine position, that is supine meaning on your back. With just using the eyes, look to your right side. And after that, you rotate your head from the neck to the right side, and then turn the body, the upper body, the trunk, to the right side. You breathe once or twice and repeat it for the left side. But you must remember that when you turn to one side, it's first the eyes, then the head, and lastly the body. Repeat this cycle for a total of 2 minutes. The third layer of rehabilitation exercises is crossing the body. And there is only one exercise which is known as the cross crawl exercise while you are lying down on your back on a firm surface. Put the arms behind your head or overhead. If you find that difficult, you can keep them by your side, in line with the shoulders. First, you lift your left thigh and bring your right hand forward and touch the left thigh with the right hand. Then you put the leg back and the hand in original position. Repeat the same thing over for the right thigh to be touched with your left hand. And repeat this cycle for a total of 1 minute. A very simple exercise, but very useful. The fourth layer is building of strength in the body. It's a very simple exercise. It's probably also borrowed from one of our asanas known as Asana, where you stretch your entire body. So you sit upright, reach your arms overhead, and create a big stretching yawn. So you stretch your entire body up, and then you finish, that is, you come down, bring your arms down by smiling for 3 seconds. Smiling, you may not know or realize, it's a wonderful exercise and uses a lot of the muscles of the body. Repeat this over for a full 1 minute. The fifth and the last layer of the first phase, that's the beginning phase, is gaining endurance. Endurance, as you know, refers to stamina of the body, and the best exercise for improving the stamina of your body is walking. Walk for 5 minutes at a stretch without stopping. Walk at a pace so that you can speak in full sentences, which means that you should not get breathless. If you find this difficult, take short breaks initially or perform light marching standing in one place. Gradually, you'll be able to walk. If you can do this walking exercise 3 to 5 times a day, that's wonderful. So far, all the minutes put together, including these 5 minutes, it's only 13 minutes of your time per day. That's in the beginning phase, when you're just about getting or recovering from the illness. However, having said all this, there are a few precautions that you must follow. You should not begin exercises if you have fever or feel febrile, if you have joint pains or muscle pains or swellings, if you have shortness of breath or difficulty in breathing during even resting phase, or you have chest pain or a rapid heartbeat, which is known as palpitations. And while doing exercises, if you feel dizziness or shortness of breath, which is more than normal, or a chest pain, or you feel that your skin and body is becoming cool and sweaty, or you feel excessive fatigue, or if you feel loud and irregular heartbeats, stop doing exercises. Take a rest and consult your family physician or a cardiologist, whoever is available, quicker for you. So this was about the beginning phase. That's your immediate recovery period after the illness. I have kept the next two phases for two remaining sessions purposely, so that you as a viewer, or if you're trying to learn, should not get mixed up between the various exercises. In the next week, next Wednesday, I'll be talking to you about rehabilitation in the building phase. And that's all for today, and thank you. Well, I do not see any comments in the comments box. If there are any over the next couple of minutes, I'll probably like to clarify them. If not, I'll encourage each one of you who's viewing this to in turn encourage your friends, relatives, or people you know who have had COVID infection, or even people who haven't had COVID infection so far, to have a look at this video, the list of exercises which will be applicable for all ages and both the sexes. They're simple and they'll help you recover in a graded, measured fashion. I'll also encourage each of the viewers who are viewing the show now, and to those who will be seeing it later, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All our previous episodes are stacked up and archived there. Feel free to go through them at your leisure time, if and when you can. I'm sure you will learn something new about your lifestyle related to your eyes, lifestyle related to your diet, exercise, lifestyle related to COVID, lifestyle related to diabetes and other illnesses, and there are a whole lot of topics that we have covered so far. So please do, and if you do like a video, do not forget to press the like button also. Thank you, and goodbye for today.